StrengthsFinder has identified communications as one of your strengths. You like to explain things, to describe things, to speak in public, to host events, and to write. Ideas are like dry events that are static to you. You feel a need to bring them to life, to energize them, to tell stories that make them come alive, to use words and metaphors that bring them up to the front and center in people's minds and hearts. You turn events into stories and practice telling them. My son Jason has this strength of communication, and Jason can keep us all in stitches as we sit around the dinner table and listen to stories about different things that are going on in his life, and he makes them true to life and bigger than life. You can picture everything he says in your mind as he's telling these stories, and that's the way communication works. You turn events into stories and practice telling them, but you also take the dry idea and enliven it with images and examples using these metaphors I mentioned. So you have a way of taking these different ideas that you have about a subject matter and making them real to somebody through these metaphors, through these stories, through these pictures that you can paint in people's minds. You don't want to divert their attention towards you and then capture it and lock it in. So you're all about standing in front of a group, writing a book, whatever it is, but what your purpose is to capture people's attention and get them just enthralled with your story, capture their attention, bring them into your world. This is what drives you to hunt for in this perfect phrase that you want to use. This is what drives you toward dynamic words and powerful word combinations. It's what people love to listen to, is because you have this ability to be able to tell stories and make them come alive with these words. Your word pictures pique their interest. You keep people excited and sharpen their world and inspire them to act based upon what it is you can say about a subject matter or the way you can tell a story. It doesn't always show up in true to life stories either. Sometimes these things are true life, but sometimes they're fiction. So you might take a story that has a lot of fiction in it, embellish it with your words, make it come alive, and make it believable to people, even if it is fiction, so that you might be a great storyteller. That might be the way that comes out in your life. You will always do well in roles where you can teach. Obviously, if you can tell good stories, teaching is about telling stories and about bringing people right into it and engaging them through a good story. In sales, where your stories can capture the client's attention and you be able to bring across ideas and issues where they can see them in vivid colors in their mind. And in the marketing world, where you can picture events taking place in your mind, be able to take those events and share them in the marketing world with people, whether or not you're in a trade show or you're in a special event with a client. You can tell a story to capture their attention, and especially a story about your product or services. You might be well fit for the ministry, where you can speak to people, where you have an opportunity to speak or sing or be able to communicate through other media, the written media, or through video and audio. So here's your action items. Start a collection of stories and phrases that resonate with you. For example, cut out magazine articles, find information in an encyclopedia. Wherever you look, get information that you can use to tell stories about and practice it. Practice these stories by saying these words by yourself. Just say them over to yourself and see, does this sound like something that excites me? Am I getting into this? Is this something I can take in front of people and make work? And then listen closely to your audience. Pay close attention. When they're leaning in and laughing, got a smile on their face, that means that you've got them engaged. If they're backing away and kind of sitting back and they're not enjoying it, you'll be able to tell, and you'll be able to know that you're going to have to modify what it is you're saying a little bit to grasp those people's attention. That doesn't mean that everybody and every audience is always going to be locked into your words, but it does mean that if a large percentage of them aren't engaged, you know that you're not capturing their attention properly. So practice and prepare. The more you practice, the more you prepare, the more you'll be ready, and the better job you'll do. And the more exciting this strength will be for you, because you'll be able to exercise it in a way that excites people's hearts. And then lastly, volunteer to present in public. Try to find places where you can speak and polish it. Go to a Toastmasters. Do some volunteering in organizations that you're interested in. Find the thing that you're passionate about. Go to the organizations that assemble to talk about your core values, your core principles, whatever it is that excites you. Go to those places. Find opportunities to speak there. That when you're doing something that you love, the passion will come across, and this communication strength will light up. I hope you enjoy this, and this whole strength of communication is a marvelous way to earn a living. It's also to live out your interests